Emma sat by the kitchen window, watching the sun dip below the horizon, casting a warm golden glow across the garden. The aroma of freshly baked cookies filled the air, and the sound of Lily's laughter echoed from the living room as she played with her dolls. Life was simple, predictable, and for the most part, happy. Emma had met Mark during their university years. He was charming, ambitious, and full of dreams. They had built a life together, filled with shared goals and mutual respect, or so she thought. Lily was the light of Emma's life. At 6 years old, she had an infectious energy and a curiosity about the world that never failed to bring a smile to Emma's face. She was the glue that held their family together, and Emma's greatest joy was watching her grow. The day began like any other. Emma was in the kitchen preparing dinner when she heard the sound of a car pulling into the driveway. She glanced at the clock. Mark was home early, a rare occurrence that usually meant he had good news to share. As the front door opened, Emma wiped her hands on a towel and headed to the hallway to greet him. But the sight that met her eyes stopped her in her tracks. Standing beside Mark was a woman Emma had never seen before, holding the hand of a young boy. Emma's heart raced as confusion and dread filled her mind. "Emma, this is Sarah," Mark said, avoiding her eyes. "And this is Jacob." Emma felt as if the ground had shifted beneath her feet. She struggled to find words, her mind reeling from the implications. "What is going on, Mark?" she finally managed to ask, her voice trembling. Mark led Sarah and Jacob into the living room, and Emma followed, her heart pounding. Lily looked up from her toys, her eyes wide with curiosity at the new arrivals. "We need to talk," Mark said, his voice tense. He explained that Sarah was someone he had met during a business trip. A relationship had developed, and Jacob was the result. Emma listened in stunned silence, anger and betrayal bubbling beneath her calm exterior. How could he do this to her, to their family? Lily, sensing the tension, looked between her parents with a confused expression. "Who are they, Mommy?" she asked, her innocent question hanging in the air like a weight. Emma took a deep breath, trying to keep her voice steady. "They're friends of Daddy's, sweetheart." But as the conversation continued, the truth became impossible to hide. The realization in Lily's eyes mirrored Emma's heartbreak, and she knew that life as they knew it was forever changed. In the days that followed, Emma was guided by a principle she had read from Marcus Aurelius. "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." She knew she couldn't change Mark's actions, but she could choose how to respond to them. This was her path to freedom and resilience. The days that followed were a blur of arguments and tears. Emma tried to keep things normal for Lily's sake, but the tension in the house was palpable. She and Mark fought constantly, their words cutting deep and leaving scars that might never heal. Then came the day when everything changed. Emma and Mark were in the middle of another heated argument when Lily's small voice cut through the chaos. "Why can't we all just be happy again?" she asked, tears in her eyes. Her innocent plea hit Emma like a physical blow. Mark's face twisted with anger and frustration, and he yelled, "You don't understand, Lily. This is complicated." Lily's tears fell freely now, and Emma's heart shattered. It was in that moment she realized that something had to change, for Lily's sake, if not for her own. Emma spent sleepless nights thinking about the situation, torn between her love for Mark and the betrayal she felt. She sought advice from her closest friends and family, who offered support and encouraged her to prioritize her own happiness and Lily's well-being. Emma realized that staying in the toxic environment was not healthy for her or Lily. She began exploring her options, considering what life might look like on her own. She found strength in the unlikeliest places, like Lily's unwavering belief in the goodness of people and the joy she found in small moments. One evening, after a particularly tense day, Emma sat down with Lily and explained that things were going to change. She spoke gently, trying to reassure her daughter that everything would be okay. "Mommy and Daddy need some time apart to figure things out," she said softly. stroking Lily's hair. "But I promise, we'll always be a family, no matter what." Lily nodded, her young mind trying to process the situation. "Will we still see Daddy?" she asked, her eyes wide with concern. "Of course, sweetheart. Daddy loves you very much, and he'll always be there for you," Emma reassured her. The days that followed were challenging as Emma navigated the logistics of separating from Mark. They agreed on a custody arrangement for Lily and began the difficult process of disentangling their lives. Emma found a small apartment nearby and began to create a new home for herself and Lily. As they settled into their new routine, Emma found herself rediscovering her own identity. She took up painting again, a hobby she had long abandoned, and found solace in expressing her emotions on canvas. She also began to build a supportive community of friends who understood her journey and offered encouragement. Emma reflected on the wisdom of Seneca. The greatest remedy for anger is delay. She practiced patience and restraint, choosing to respond with calmness instead of reacting with anger. Meanwhile, Mark tried to come to terms with his own choices. He realized the impact of his actions and began attending therapy to understand why he had strayed from his marriage. He reached out to Emma, expressing regret and a desire to rebuild trust. Emma listened to Mark's apologies, but she knew that trust was something that had to be earned over time. She focused on co-parenting with Mark, ensuring that Lily felt loved and supported by both parents. Lily adapted surprisingly well to the changes. She embraced her new home with enthusiasm, helping Emma decorate her room and exploring their neighborhood with curiosity. She also enjoyed spending time with Jacob, who had become a regular presence in their lives. One evening, as Emma and Lily sat on the couch watching a movie, Lily snuggled up to her mother and said, "I like our new home, Mommy. It feels happy." Emma smiled, tears of gratitude in her eyes. "Me too, Lily. Me too." As time passed, Emma learned to let go of the past and focus on the present. She discovered strength and resilience she didn't know she had, and embraced the challenges and joys of her new life. She realized that happiness wasn't about having a perfect family, but about creating a loving and supportive environment for herself and Lily. In reflecting on her journey, Emma often thought of the stoic principle: no man is free who is not master of himself. She understood that true freedom and peace came from mastering her own thoughts and actions, rather than being controlled by external circumstances. And so Emma and Lily continued their journey together, with hope in their hearts and the promise of a brighter future. Mark remained a part of their lives, committed to being the best father he could be, and working to rebuild trust with Emma. Together they learned that family could be redefined, and that love and forgiveness could heal even the deepest wounds.